Hi guys, it's Paul again. Welcome back to my channel. Okay, so today I'm actually filming this on June the 9th. It's going out on day 10 of my work with Annaghmore Regeneration Scheme over in Northern Ireland. But I was having a look on kind of graffiti art, and something just flashed up today, which is quite apt really. It's Donald Duck's official birthday. Obviously Disney's character. So I thought with Pixar's Forky, I might do a very quick Donald Duck face. This is a piece of graffiti art again. Now, June the 9th, officially Donald Duck's birthday is, but the first cartoon he ever featured in was in 1934. Now, the other significant thing for me is that Donald Duck was the very first cartoon that I ever started to draw when I was young. And I practiced on Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, Pluto, those kind of characters, and then moved on to kind of The Simpsons when that came out. But Donald Duck is also quite significant because, later on in the video, right at the end, my dad has this skill, so do I. I can actually speak in Donald Duck's voice, and I can sneeze like Donald Duck, so I'll do that on video later on. At least you'll be able to hear me, because you can't see me right now. Okay, so this is just Donald Duck's head wearing a kind of a hip-hop street baseball cap kind of thing, and he's holding a spray can, but you can only see his head and his hand holding the can. So the first thing I'm going to do is draw the spray can. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just grab a HB pencil. I'm going to do it quite close to Forky, all right, and hopefully you can see. Yeah, we'll bring the hand in here, and then we'll have the head here somewhere. Okay, so first things first is to get the curve of his hand. Now this is a gloved hand like Mickey Mouse's gloved hand, so we'll do it quite light in case I go wrong. Sometimes I do go wrong with these hands. They're a little bit, not complicated, but to get the curves right is quite difficult. Okay, so we've got a black line. So we've got a curve like this, and then we've got a black line which is thicker at this end, but I'll get the highlighter later on, the fine liner, sorry. And what you want to do is connect this line to this curve. Okay, now this is going to curve right up, and this is the palm of his hand. Okay, so what we want to do is to make it about this length. Okay, we're going to have one line there. We're going to have another line coming in here, which is his finger. We're going to have a straightest edge here up to a bit of a knuckle, and then it's going to go down. So there's the first finger. Okay, now from here what you want to do is you want to almost do a straight line, but it curves outwards slightly. Okay, but we want to leave that up there like that hanging for a minute, because we want to just get the next finger in. Okay, so this curve here, you want to continue it as if that finger isn't there. Okay, so it almost kind of, you could see where that connects across. All right, we've got another line coming in here, and then we've got another curve. This is a little bit deeper curve. Okay, and it soon goes up, and it goes around. This is a little bit of a bigger hand, but there's no knuckle until here. Okay, so that's the finger there, and then we've got another line, very small line, and we've got another finger that's holding the cap of the spray can. This is as if Donald Duck Sorry, there's a Freudian slip there. Donald Duck is holding a spray can, spraying on the wall, okay. Now we can keep this white, we just want 2 lines like that, okay. And then we're going to have a black arm coming in like this, okay. Now let's draw the spray can while we're at it. We'll try and do, probably do the bottom bit first. So from here, what you want to do is to draw a line across. Okay, it's probably a little bit too long. Okay, but we can always rub that out. If we've made it light, we can rub it out, okay? So we want a line like this. It doesn't have to be perfect, but now I've made that line too long. Okay, so what you want to do is to curve this a little bit at this edge here, so it looks like it wraps around the can, and then we've got the curve of the top of the can like this, okay. Now we want a bit of a curve up there like that. From here we're going to have another curve like this, okay, and then we're going to have another one on top, and then we're going to have a smaller one, okay, like this. That's what it's going to look like, and we're going to have a dot there, okay. So there's our can, okay. What we probably need to do is just to bring this line down a little bit, and then rub out. I'm going to rub out this edge. Just going to curve this bottom bit a little bit more. Okay. So we're going to bring this down here like this. We're going to curve it up a little bit there. Okay. Now, got another line here, goes like that. Okay, so there's the can. Now what you want to do is to bring Donald Duck's head in. So middle of the can, I'm going to do another line down here as well. Middle of the can, what we need to do is do a curve. It's going to go down to just underneath the can there. Now we want it to do the curve here. This is the bottom of his mouth. Okay. Gonna have a line like that. Alright. We're gonna then draw a curve to there. Okay. We're gonna then do another line parallel, and it's gonna curve around the bottom. And it's going to get thicker at this end. It's going to go around here like this. And it's going to go up to there. Okay, so there's his mouth. We've then got to the top of his mouth, that's the bottom of his mouth. The top of his mouth, I'm going to go down. And we're going to go around like this. Just bear with me for a minute. Okay, so we can just draw these lines further up now, like that. Okay, so that's basically Donald's bottom of his beak. This graffiti art is orange, so we're going to do it slightly lighter than this one. The artist that's done this on a wall in the USA. has done it on orange beak, so he's got a much lighter beak than this in the cartoons. Okay, so he's got a curve like this, which goes up to there. Now we're going to get his eye in. So he's got two curves that go like this. Okay, so if you can draw that, that'd be great. Then we've got to get the eye in, okay? So this curve is going to carry on, and it's going to go this way. All right, and then I'm going to bring the curve around here, like that. Okay, now he's got big black eyes, so we'll put the eyes in now. Okay, around the top of this, I've got another curve. We've got another curve there, okay. Now this one comes out slightly, and then it curves back, but then it goes up quite a distance further than the other eye. Okay, so just rub that darker line out and just do, now I know that I've got it right, I can just do one line like that, okay. Let's just do the bottom of his beak now, because then this will make sense to you then, because we can then drop this down and curve it up slightly like this, okay. There we are. So we need from here, this curves out, and then it curves in. It's almost like drawing a pear. It goes up to about there, okay. And then the eye on this one, like that, okay. So we've got a tiny little arrow here in his mouth. We've got on this piece of art, we've got a neck here, and that's all there is, okay. Now we've got another finger coming in here. It's got another white finger, and it goes right round here like that, okay. And in the back of there is a baseball cap. Okay, so first things first, we've just got to get the his head in. So I'm going to draw a curve. It's going to go around like this. Okay. Now from here we'll do a triangle like that. Then we do two more triangles, smaller, okay. Then we've got a big curve going on, because this is his eyebrow, if you like. So this is going up, and it's going round there, okay. Now from here, we're going to go to here, but it's going to curve a little bit, okay. Now we've got three triangles here. We've got one like this, it's like his hair, his feathers. And then we've got one more here like this. There we are. So pretty much that's Donald Duck. We've got a couple of lines here. Now we've got to put, instead of him putting it in his normal hat on, we're going to bring like a cool baseball cap. A bit of an urban effect here. So what we want is, we want a nice curve across the top here. This is like the peak or the brim of his hat, of his cap. Okay. Now from here, it simply goes in a curve and it joins this one there. Okay, now we've got a little tiny little bit of brown. We've got a curve here, which is green, and then we've got blue and black in the back of this one. Okay, and we'll put some black in there. But that's pretty much it. Okay, there's Mickey Mouse. Might put some colour in it first, and then do the fine liner around, or if you've got felt tip, you can go around the felt tip. Okay, so what we need to do is we need a little bit of a colour change here. We've got bright orange. If you've got a bright orange, you can do the drips on the can first. So we just need this kind of effect going on. Okay, so it's as if he's sprayed a wall, orange or red. If you haven't got an orange, you can use a red, no problem. Okay, now the idea here is leave a little bit of white if you can. So I'm just going around a couple of these blobs, white, okay? So make sure that the hand stays white. You don't want to cover that hand with orange. Although, to be fair, if you've done that, then that's fine. It just means that he's got spray on his hand while he's been spray canning the wall. If you were, if you spray canning, you probably want some gloves on, which he's got, but there'd probably be all sorts of colours. It wouldn't be white. So don't worry too much if you go over with a pencil crane and make it look like he's sprayed himself while he's been spraying. Okay, so never knew it was Donald Duck's birthday on the 9th of June. Makes sense actually if that's the day that the first ever cartoon in 1934 came out. And as I say, he's the first cartoon I ever tried to draw. I must have been about 5 or 6 maybe. If you're drawing at 5 or 6, you'll be brilliant when you're older if you keep practicing. Okay, so we've got a bright orange. Now I'm just going to go a little lighter orange now for stripes on this can. Okay, a little bit darker here. So all I'm doing now is I'm pressing on. I've just grabbed a lighter orange here. Now really light. I'm not putting any pressure, almost any pressure on this pencil at all. I'm just lightening this off. Bit more pressure over here. And a little bit more pressure under here, okay? But this is nice and light. Okay, so that's the effect that you want to go for, really. If you can, spray can. Right, silvery grey. We'll keep that line on there. Bit of grey in here. Leave a little bit of this white if you can. Okay, a little bit of grey there. Nice and light. I'm not putting any pressure on again, apart from down this side of that stripe I put on earlier on. Okay, and again a little bit in there. We've got much darker down here by his palm of his hand. Okay, and it's darker through this area here, just to give it some kind of 3D effect. All right. Little bit of dark on this inside of this finger, and we'll take it through there as well. Okay, but that's it. We've got a little bit of grey in this arm, but most of it's going to be black. Okay, like that. All right, and then grey for this neck, nice and light. A little bit darker by his head. Lighten it up as you're going across. If you haven't got a grey pencil crane, you can use a pencil, no problem. Most of this is white. I'm going to go through with my fine liner now because I want to make sure it's really neat, this black eye. If you haven't got one, don't worry, you can use a pencil crane, a black pencil crane, or even a felt tip. I wouldn't, if you've got fine liners like this is the Stabilo one, I wouldn't do too much bigger than this area here with it, because otherwise it just runs out really quickly. And if you press down too hard, they split. Okay, so you've got to be nice and gentle with your fine liners. You don't need to put much pressure on them. Okay, so there's the black eyes, which is great. Now, we've only got a little bit of colour now. That's all we need to do. So I'll probably do the colour now. I'm going to go like an orangey yellow, and I'm going to go this lighter orange. Okay, so you want this pressing on nice and hard here. Underneath the eye here, this is the darker of the two oranges that we've got. Okay, so we're going to go around this mouth with this darker orange, a little bit in here, a little bit down this side. Now underneath here is really dark. Okay, so I'm going to do a line like that. Blow away any excess, so don't smudge. Blow it away if you can. Okay, if you can again. Keep saying can. Spray can. Okay, so a little bit on the top edge of that, like that, and we'll have a smidgen down, a smidgen, small amount down here. Love that word, smidgen. Right, so orangey yellow. We're trying to try and mix it in as well, so it's blended in nicely. Now, just be careful that you don't go over the, like I've done there. I've gone over the pencil a little bit, so it's gone a bit grey there. So just be careful if you're using an HB pencil or something like that, that you don't go over the pencil line, because it will turn your yellow kind of a grey colour. Okay, so try and avoid, if you can, the pencil crayon. You might want to go over it with a fine liner before, or a felt tip, something like that, around the outside edge. This is probably the hardest one I've tried to show you in the last certainly the last 10 days of doing these for the grip and island. But if you can get to grips with Donald Duck, you can then do all sorts of Disney characters, no problem. And I used to spend hours and hours and hours just drawing different Donald Ducks from different cartoons, different magazines. We used to have lots of magazines in our house when I was young. My favourite was the Beano. If anybody's older watching this, remember the Beano? Bash Street Kids is my favourite, I think. So we've got the yellow coming in now. Don't forget, we haven't gotten through any of this with fine liner yet. Okay, and I think that's what I'll do now. So I'm going to grab my fine liner. Actually, no, I'm just going to go slightly darker orange in the roof of his mouth here. Okay, and try and blend this in if I can. Okay, so I might have to grab the yellow again in a minute. So I'm going over the inside of his mouth, and then I'm going to go over with this slightly darker orange now, and the mid-orange over that yellow, just to darken that yellow up there so it matches, it blends in nicely. Okay, so that looks a bit better. I'm now going over the yellowy orange with the darker orange. It's looking better there. Okay, so now fine liner. I'm going to go around everything with a fine liner. So we're going to go around this, and you'll notice how this brings it to life now, and it looks much more like a cartoon once I start doing this. Okay, so the idea is you're just following the pencil lines now. If you've not seen any of my other videos, I use these Stabilo 0.88 pencil crayons from Amazon. Really good pencil crayons these are. Just noticed I've just got a little bit of grey to do on this. I'll just do that while I'm thinking about it. A little bit more grey under the here. Okay. Now, quick tip for you: if you don't want to smudge, which I'm doing across across. What you can do is put a piece of paper, any cartridge paper, printer paper, across. If I don't want to smudge this now, I'm just going to put my hand across the top, so I can't actually smudge, so the smudge goes onto this blank bit of paper. Okay, and sometimes I do that if I've got a piece of art that I don't want to spoil. Okay, it's very difficult to get back once it's smudged. So now this pencil line's quite thick anyway, so probably if I'm just practicing, I wouldn't necessarily go over with a fine liner, but because I'm just showing you all how to do it, I thought I'd go over everything correctly. Okay, but if I was just practicing at home, I probably wouldn't bother, because my pencil's quite thick there. I've pressed down quite hard. I wouldn't recommend you pressing down until you know you've got it right. You can always go over it again. Okay, and when we've finished, I'll sneeze like Donald Duck. If you could subscribe to these videos, that'd be great. You won't miss any then. We've gone past 100 now. We've got 100, and this would be the 101 videos on my YouTube art channel. Okay, which is really good because I've done all of them during lockdown, every night, or sometimes in the afternoons if I'm filming in the afternoon. Okay, so we'll just quickly go around this can. I hope everybody's safe and well anyway, and you're staying safe and keeping your distances. Watched the news earlier on and they were talking about making sure you keep 2 meters apart, and most of the rest of Europe have gone down to 1.5 meters away from each other, which means that there's restaurants and bars can reopen a bit easier, because otherwise it's going to be really hard if we keep 2 meters apart to open all the bars and restaurants. I think they're saying that a lot of them will go out of business. I've got my fingers crossed for a summer holiday. I don't think it's going to happen at the moment. Okay, so nearly done. Okay, so just around the back of this finger, down the back of this hand, and 2 lines like that. Now the only thing we've missed is we just need to get a black pencil crayon. This arm that's attached to his gloved hand is black. Okay, so we've got a black pencil crayon here, just because it's a bit big of an area to go over with my fine liner. Okay, so I'm just going to pop in just going behind Forky's arm. Okay, so now I've missed a couple just of lines here, just on his head. Now you could then colour in his baseball cap however you wanted to. Absolutely fine with any colours that you want. But the artist has done like a bright blue, so he's done, imagine he's done bright blue right across here. Alright, and I'm not going to finish colouring this in, but there's bright blue without any white bits. Okay, a little bit darker blue under here, then he's used a little bit of brown. Okay, it's quite a light brown he's used there, Then he's got a green, quite a bright green, but he's missed a little bit. He's left it white, and there's a slight white stripe down the middle to show there's a bit of sunshine coming across the back of his baseball cap. Okay, so that's the kind of effect that he's had. And then what he's then done is he's gone through the middle of this with this blue again, same blue at the top, same blue there, but look what he's done here now. What he's done is cross-hatched things. So I'll just show you what the artist's done to make like the mesh and the baseball cap. What he's done here is he's gone across, so he's gone straight down here and he's made it much darker on this side, and he's brought lines through here. And this is what he's done, like that. Okay, so it's kind of got a mesh effect there, the back of his head. Okay, and he's got black. I'm just going to bring this through just a bit darker here, and he's got a little bit darker around the outside edge there, like that. Okay, just a little bit of black in there. That's it. Okay, so actually done a little bit more there. That's it. Okay, so thicker black stripe behind his finger, like that. All right. All this, you could blacken all this off actually, if you wanted to. You could do some crosshairs across this, like this. Okay. And then the blue, all we've got to do then is just finish the blue. I may as well finish it to show you. Okay, so it's nice and bright, pressing down nice and hard. He's missed 2 circles there and there, okay, which is just giving him a little bit of light, okay, and he's gone a bit lighter through here, okay, than anywhere else, and then he's gone firmer again here. Obviously this is spray can, so he's just gone a light, really bright blue all the way across. Okay, which is what we can do. Just be careful in this area here. You don't want to go over any of the white of his hair, or his plumage, if you like, his white plumage. There we are. So, Donald Duck's not nearly finished. Urban Street Donald Duck. Spray can Donald on his birthday. So don't forget this date, 9th of June, every year. If you're interested in art, draw yourself a Donald Duck. I follow quite a lot of graffiti artists and street artists on Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter, Facebook groups, street art Facebook groups, or just generally find them online. Okay, I'm not sure who's actually done this one. No idea. Okay, just got a little bit more blue to do. There we go. Okay, and then we can grab a slightly darker blue, actually much darker blue, and we'll just do some dark sections now, just where his hair comes across here. Okay, around this one, darker here. over the top of this curve here, and then down into the bottom here to make it look like a baseball cap. If you've got a fine liner, you could do this kind of effect, which is kind of the lines like the stitch marks, stitches on his baseball cap like that. Okay, and then we could have another one going further round on the outside edge of that one. There we go. Okay, so take this piece of paper away, and there we have Donald Duck, not Donald Trump. I keep saying Donald Trump, been in the news a lot at the moment. Donald Duck, a little bit of grey in here. Okay, just fade it out like that. Okay, there we are. Okay, Donald Duck. So my Donald Duck voice, ready? It goes. There you go. So Donald Duck for you for day 10. Hope you're well and speak to you very soon. Take care now.